Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Sexton I. It's a tier 3 British premium SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Steps, and this one is under the command of Ohforfoxache. Yes, if you spell it or pronounce it the correct way, it's almost like you're exclaiming, "Oh, what the hell has gone wrong now? Oh, for fuck's sake." It's very funny. Okay, well, he's got a 1 mark of distinction on the front of his vehicle, proving that he's actually had a high caliber in this one before. The Sexton I was the replacement for the M7 Priest, because of course the British couldn't use the Priest properly because it needed 105mm ammunition, and most of the British artillery was 25 pounders, and that's what's arming this Sexton I, a 25 pounder. Now, the Sexton I was being built in Canada, in Montreal actually, and originally it was based on the hull of the M3, and the first 125 vehicles that were produced were with the M3 hull. Okay, it looks like he's aiming over to the other side of the west side of the map. Now, they did switch after the first 125 were built, and 124 of those were actually shipped to the UK in 1943. The rest of the Sextons, the Sexton II that was produced afterwards, that was, I think he accidentally fired that one by mistake, didn't go anywhere near the target. The others that were actually built afterwards were actually based on the hull of the Grizzly, which was the Canadian version of the M4. Slightly different to the M4, and just you can actually notice it through the oh, good shot. You can notice it through the drive wheel actually at the front, which is slightly different. It's got different sprongs on the wheel. I think somebody who's an enthusiast could tell you instantly that something was actually a Grizzly rather than a M4 built in the USA. Anyway, the 25 pounder is capable of 280 alpha. It's got if you see down here, it's got a penetration of 44mm of armor and a burst radius of 1.39 meters, which means you have to get very close to the enemy in order to get a direct hit and some damage. And that's a kill shot, because that one went straight through the 10TP and wiped him out. Now, there is the possibility to carry armor-piercing rounds and special HE rounds on this Arty. You notice that Ohforfoxache is not actually carrying any of them. Now, the reload time, standard reload is 10.35 seconds, but Ohforfoxache's got it down to 10.13, so not much of a difference. He might have a rammer, and he probably doesn't have a BIA crew, but oh, look at that accurate shot there on the M2. Managed to extract 92 hit points off him. Now he's got 2 tanks to aim at, a Panzer S35 and an M3 Stuart, and he hits the S35 for 89. Now, this is only one of 2 premium SPGs in the game, the other one being the 105 FH18B2, the famous Leffy, or Fifi La Pew Pew as we call her. And Wargaming actually took this tank, this SPG, out of the store, so you couldn't get hold of it for a long while. In fact, then they finally started selling it, or rather not selling it, but actually putting it in the loot boxes one Christmas. And then a lot of people got hold of the Sexton all at the same time. Now, really, there's not much of a difference between a Sexton I and a Sexton II, actually, other than the fact that one actually built them, and beautiful kill on the Panzer IIIe, which is his second kill. Not much of a difference between the two, other than the fact that one actually does carry the premium rounds and the other one doesn't. One's got a slightly better view range. Other than that, there's not much difference. But you can see that the Sexton I does actually, because it's a premium, will train its crews faster, and it does seem to have better luck as well. If you train it up quicker, you'll have better luck at hitting the enemy, because your crews will get good very quickly, which makes it a much better Arty to play with. Plus, of course, you can swap the crew from the Sexton II into the Sexton I, and that means your Sexton II crew will get trained quicker as well. Oh, another kill shot, this time on the M3 Stuart, and that was a good one because he backed up. And that's 4 kills now. He's doing exceptionally well in this game. He's the lead scorer on his team. It is a tier 3 game with tier 3 tanks. I think there's some tier 2 tanks. No, it's only tier 3s actually. That's another advantage of actually having this Arty at this tier. Because it's such a low tier, you're not really going to be coming across anything that's majorly OP. There are a few enemy tanks at this level, a few premium tanks at this level that it might find difficult, but he seems to be having a lot of fun. And a lot of people who've actually got the Sexton I say, well, it's a blast mainly because it's got so much ammo, you could just keep blasting away all battle long at the enemy and not worry about running out of ammo in the meanwhile. Oh, he's got him! And that's his 5th kill. He's still the lead scorer. And they're 2 up on the enemy at the moment. And it looks like they're doing even better. They're 3 up on the enemy now because they're actually coming in through the west side. Now, it has got a decent range, this Arty, but of course it does help to be close to the enemy. And Ohforfoxache knows that. Oh, and he has to move anyway because an enemy light tank has made its way all the way up here. It's a Panzer I-C. Oh, lovely shot. Now go for the ram. Try and ram him because this thing's a big beast. And a Panzer I-C is quite a small little tank. If he can get into him or back up, that's it. Oh, got a nice shot. Now go for the ram kill. Yes, lovely. That's how to deal with a pest like that. Ram him, and that's his top gun, as well as potential high caliber. Now there's only 4 enemies left. 2 of those are SPGs. And well, they've already lost one. Number 1. The enemy Wesper just got killed. So there's only an Su-26, an M3 Stuart and a Samur S-35 left on the enemy team. And it appears they're all down in the south. So good job that Ohforfoxache did move when he did, because otherwise he might have become victim to that Panzer I-C. But instead it was the Panzer I-C who found out to his cost that Sexton is not that easy to kill. They made 2,125 according to the wiki of the Sextons. Only 125 of the first version, Sexton I, the rest are all Sexton IIs. And they also had them in Australia as well, variations of the Sexton out there. The best thing about it was the 25-pounder gun, because that 25-pounder, very quick firing, 87.6 caliber, 87.6 millimeters. It didn't quite have the punch of a 105mm, but there was plenty of 25-pounder ammunition available. Rounds out again on the Samur. Can he get another kill? He did hit him. There's a big hole in the turret of that Samur, but I think the M15 is probably going to get him. And he did. And that was the last kill of the game. So that was a great game for Ohforfoxache. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Ohforfoxache in the Sexton I on steps. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12 in that game. 12, would you believe it? He also did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, as well as a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. And it was that Panzer I-C who actually provided him with the 6th kill and his last one. And yes, he did ram him to death. He's got a big, heavy vehicle. And the Panzer I-C is only a very light thing. This is a 31-ton Arty in a huge vehicle, and he just rammed him to death because, of course, that tiny little thing is only it's less than 20 tons, I think, the Panzer I-C. So, of course, he could just demolish him by running over him, almost to say. But yes, great game, and nice to see that the Arty is not intimidated by a light tank that comes up to him. He actually took him on and said, I'm going to have you, you're next, and took him out of the game to win. Let's have a look at team score. Well, look at that. Right at the top of the table, 1,373 hit points for Ohforfoxache. Highest damage. The next highest damage in the game was the Panzerkampfwagen S35 on the enemy team. He got 847 out of that game. And the next high score after that was the M2 Medium on his own team, who managed 713. When it came to kills, he definitely had the highest. He had 6 kills. The M15 had managed to get 3. Because he was in platoon with others, he couldn't platoon together a brothers in arms, although it would probably have been nice if he had. But this is one of the reasons why I don't platoon until the end, when I know that somebody else has actually managed to meet the specifications. And the third highest damage, well, the Samur S35, this Panzerkampfwagen S35, that Samur S35 on the enemy team, another Panzerkampfwagen S35 in the game, and a 127, all managed 2 kills apiece, so they all qualified for 3rd place on kills. Well, when it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top on that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 907 base experience points for Ohforfoxache, 632 for the S35 on his own team, and 602 for the BT7 artillery. So a very good game for Ohforfoxache. He fired 24 rounds, got 12 direct hits on the enemy, 3 penetrations and 11 splash. Damage of 1,373 hit points, of which 967 were done at more than 300 meters, which means that the difference was the close range shots, which were actually on tanks that were fairly close to him, actually. He was running over one of them. 19 hits received from the enemy, that was the Panzer 1C. 7 of those penetrated, 12 non-penetrations, 96 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and he earned 27,539 credits from the game. And after repair and ammunition respawn, these shells are really cheap. 39,144 credits profits, a decent profit from a decent game. 907 XP times 2 for the first victory, 817 for this being a premium vehicle. Wish there were more premium SPGs in the game. I think Wargaming can afford to do it. In fact, I think they'd make a fortune if they did. Literally millions, because virtually everybody would have to get it just to try it out. 3,539 experience points altogether. Yes, he says sexy AF. Well, we know what you mean. Yes, exactly. It was a very good game. And especially that last kill, that was worth it for the whole battle. But that last kill, that was worth it, yes. So I hope you all enjoyed that replay. And if you did, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And do let other people know that our channel exists, because apparently not everybody does. And that's why we don't get as many views as some of the other big channels. We only get a very, very few number of views indeed. Less than 100 on virtually every video. In fact, it's very strange to get a video which gets over 100 views. But the thing is that some of the other channels will get 100 views in the first 10 minutes of the video being up. That may be because they do have a lot of subscribers. But the thing is that people don't subscribe to What Arty Noobs, mainly because they don't know it exists. And yet we try to tell everybody it exists, but they just don't seem to follow the channel at all, which is a shame. Anyway, thanks very much for watching.